but you were ready to consider the stand down to deal with the documents. If I was mistaken in that, then I'm mistaken, but that is clearly how I understood it.
You definitely are. I did not. It was an if situation, which arises all the time during argument.
Then I accept that.
Thank you. And you apologize for what you said, because you basically suggested impropriety on my part, that I've prejudged issues whilst the matter is being debated. Are you tendering an apology for that?
Yes, if I misunderstood it, then I tender an apology. But as you say, the record will indicate, and my recollection is that you said, if you are not prepared...
So you are tendering a qualified apology, a conditional apology?
Chair, if I'm mistaken,
you are tendering a conditional...
I apologize, but that's not what I heard.
You are saying if the recording can what, so you are tendering a conditional apology.
What you put to me as well, that the recording will reflect what happens. What's good for you is good for me.
So I'm not accepting the so-called apology. Thank you very much. Any further submissions?
No, I did say if I misunderstood,
I'm saying I'm not, let's step off that. I'm saying I'm not accepting it. So let's step off that. Any further submissions?
No further submissions.
Thank you very much. We will take a short adjournment. We'll indicate when we are ready.
The incorrect statement that Mr. Mamela is referred to in the 10-6 notice. If you look at the 10-6 notice, you will see, and I think this is the notice given on 5 December 2025. There have been several notices. This is the last notice that we have on record. 5 December 2025, there is no mention of Mr. Mamela there. People such as Mr. Brown, Mahotsi, etc. are referred to. No mention of Mr. Mamela. There is a reference to Mr. Mamela in the summons, but the summons requires that to be dealt with here and not in the statement. The 10-6 notice pertains to what should be in the statement, and there was nothing relating to Mr. Mamela. But all of that is also, by the way, the Commission knew and had these documents and knew it was going to rely on it. It shouldn't play a cat and mouse game to say, we'll wait and see what you say, and then we'll produce what we have. This is not an adversarial proceeding. It's not an attempt to try and ambush and catch witnesses out. We all know the purpose is fact-finding, and in the spirit of acting in a manner which is transparent and fair, those documents could all have been put up and should have been put up. The explanation that you're given that the relevance only appears from the statement is also incorrect, because our learned friends knew they were going to examine on this because it's in the summons, and it is incorrect to say they had to wait for the statement. Chair, I have raised a general objection as to documents being put into the bundle in an examination. That remains as a general objection, and we will raise specific objections to specific questions. But we do place on record that this is not what the Commission's mandate is, to deal with matters that concern the SIU, tenders that are not even related to the police services. And whilst Mr. Karim will no doubt be able to deal with whatever is put to him, that is not the point. The point is that this Commission should stay within its mandate, and the evidence leaders should stay within their mandate. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Bana.
Sorry, Chair, I do need...
What I did not get to hear, sorry, Mr. Chair, what I did not get to hear was what Mr. Karim's bottom line is for
yes.
Today.
Chair, that the spreadsheet itself might be one page, but that page is a collation of a number of source documents, and we will have to see how far we get today, and if we need more time, which is not the type of scenario that we adjourn at 4, and we expect it to be here at 9:30 to deal with this, we'll ask you to stand down further.
Stand down at what point?
Depending how far we get.
Oh, how far we get.
So let's assume that the questions today go till midday. We might be able to consult on the spreadsheet. And also there may be some consequential applications coming from that. There's an issue of confidentiality which I need to consider as well. And I want to give you the heads up for that.
Yes. You wanted to, thank you, Mr. Bana.
Thank you,
wanted
Chair.
to respond, Mr. Chaskov?
Chair, there was a notice in terms of Rule 10.6 issued on the 24th of October that specifically referred to Mr. Mamela. I assume that you were aware that Mr. Mamela had been a business associate of Mr. Madlanga?
At that point, he didn't disclose that to me.
No, but you'd read articles, we discussed earlier that from, I think it was April 2024, you'd read articles about allegations in relation to Mr. Mamela and Mr. Madlanga at Tembisa Hospital.
Yes, we never discussed those relations. He never brought Mr. Madlanga up to me.
No, yes, but I'm asking, were you aware that there was a business relationship between the two of them?
At that point, I saw articles, but there was no direct link between them.
I see. So all you knew is what you had read in the press about them.
That's correct.
Did you, at any other stage, find out about business relationships between Mr. Madlanga and Mr. Mamela?
When I concluded the agreement, or when we had the handshake or the verbal agreement with Mr. Madlanga in June, around August, I then asked Mr. Mamela, look, you've never raised Mr. Madlanga with me. Are you and Mr. Madlanga associates? What is the issue? He then said to me, yes, we are. So I asked him, but you never told me this. He said, yeah, look, I don't think it was important for you to have met this man through me. And that was his stance. He said, look, I didn't want to introduce you to Mr. Madlanga. I said, why? He just said, no, I didn't want to introduce you to Mr. Madlanga.
At a certain point, Mr. Madlanga must have established that you and Mr. Mamela knew each other.
Not that he told me of, unless Mr. Mamela discussed it with him.
Well, your Morgan sorted email suggests that he knows that you know who Morgan is.
Yes, remember, he then said, I must make a payment to Morgan Mamela.
And at that point, did he not know that you knew Mr. Mamela?
Well, he also played to me as if he didn't know that me and Mr. Mamela are friends.
So, from your... If we are not inclined to adjourn so that you should prepare a postponement application, if our inclination is to give you time to consult, what time would you suggest? Mr. Shaskarsin has suggested 45 minutes to an hour. What would you suggest?
Chair, I think at least 2 hours, and I'll come back to you if I need more time. But I do want to say, it seems then that you've prejudged an application that
Mr. Bana, I take strong exception to that.
No.
You know, and you are an experienced counsel, you know that people presiding, let me use the court, the example of courts. You know that judges will engage you during argument, engage you to an extent that you will think they are against you, but in the end you are surprised that the judgment is in your favor. Engaging counsel has nothing to do with matters being prejudged, and you know that. I take very strong exception to that attitude.
I don't think...
In fact, I find it unprofessional for you to say that I have prejudged issues purely because I'm engaging you. I take strong exception to that.
I don't think that you should take exception. And what
I do.
Can I respond, Chair? What you put to me was that you weren't going to allow an opportunity for the postponement application.
I did not. I did not say I am not. I never said so. We can play back the tape. We can play back the recording.
Then I was mistaken.
So that is... I can actually, to be rough, I can say you are lying.
No, then I was mistaken. I understood you to say that you were not prepared to allow a stand down for the postponement application to be brought, but you were ready to consider the stand down to deal with the documents. If I was mistaken in that, then I'm mistaken, but that is clearly how I understood it.
You definitely are. I did not. It was an if situation, which arises all the time during argument.
Then I accept that.
Thank you. And you apologize for what you said, because you basically suggested impropriety on my part, that I've prejudged issues whilst the matter is being debated. Are you tendering an apology for
Yes,
that?
if I misunderstood it, then I tender an apology. But as you say, the record will indicate, and my recollection is that you said if you are not prepared...
So you are
to
tendering a
acknowledge-
qualified apology, a conditional apology.
Chair, if I'm
You
mistaken,
are tendering a conditional-
I apologize, but that's not what I heard.
You are saying if the recording can what, so you are tendering a
It's
conditional
what you put
apology.
to me as well, that the recording will reflect what happens. What's good for you is good for me.
So I'm not accepting the so-called apology. Thank you very much. Any further submissions?
No, I did say if I misunderstood, I
I'm saying I'm
apologize.
not, let's step off that. I'm saying I'm not accepting it. So let's step off that. Any further submissions?
No further
Thank you
submission.
very much. We will take a short adjournment. We'll indicate when we are ready.
which is fact-finding. We want to know when I think it doesn't sit well for a witness, by the way, a witness of the commission. Everyone unless you have a different understanding of the people that are appearing before us here, they are all called by the commission to come and testify, and Mr. Karim is no different. For me, that's my starting point, and I hope we have a common understanding about that. And when they are called and they are asked questions or they are asked to address issues, the expectation is they will not be technical. They will not rely on, I will not say that with the commission doesn't know. They've asked me to come and explain my relationship with Medicare. If he speaks to Ziggy clearly, even if the notice from the commission mentions Ziggy, it's clear from that, I would have thought, that the commission is interested in the entities, that he's got his personal relationship and his entities. And if he intended to be open with the commission, I would have expected that he would speak to all the entities, including ones that are not mentioned in that notice, because he accepts that he's being called to come and assist us to determine the facts.
No, there's a false basis of what you're putting to me, a false premise. The witness is guided by what he's required to deal with in the summons and in the notice.
And now
Can't
he's
be-
here. Okay, and now
Can-
he's
can
here.
Can I finish my
Okay, let me
submission?
just clarify myself so that when you finish your story, you can address what I'm wanting to clarify, because you're doing this for my benefit, not for your benefit. It's to help me understand what it is we are dealing with here. The witness is called here to come and assist us in our fact-gathering process. A company is mentioned because that's what we know, what the evidence leaders have found a company through whatever investigative processes. The witness knows something else that relates to the very same question, the relationship with Medicare. He knows something else, and he chooses to hold it back. That, to me, is not a witness who's coming to assist the commission. It is catch me if you can, kind of. When, in fact, the interest of the commission is to find out what are the facts that this witness knows or that he has in his possession about the relationship with Medicare.
Yes. The witness is not going to take a technical attitude to say, I'm not going to testify to this. What we are discussing is why issues were not in the statement. Now, you may take that position, and that's your view, that the witness directed to that. These are transactions that go back several years. This is a witness who deals in companies that have many transactions. So the premise to say he had a duty, even though there's no mention of Tasmika there, to deal with Tasmika, and the fact that he doesn't, that you can put to me that he chose to hold us back, is simply incorrect. But all of this goes to no more than the criticism to say it should have been in the statement. We say that's an unfair criticism. Our learned friend can ask the questions. We are not taking a technical attitude that because it wasn't there, you're not entitled to ask the questions. But I do that to neutralize the criticism that this had to be dealt with in the statement. And that criticism is simply an excuse for the Commission having produced this at a late stage. Those are my submissions.